You are listening to the D and Davis Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
We're back. It's another Sunday here with the D and Davis Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. As always, dial us up at 312-564-7375. Hold up, because I'm laughing myself sick over here. Did you say violently tasered from behind?
Yeah, that's how it was described.
Wait, because when you went from behind, I'm like, wait, what's going on? The dude was tasered so hard, he can't even participate in the Pro Bowl.
Well,
what the hell was you doing?
I mean, I guess he got tasered, but he didn't go down after he was tasered. So, I mean, he's a strong dude.
I agree. I won't take a knee.
Right.
Never.
I guess that's why he's a Pro Bowler offensive tackle. He refuses to go down.
Oh, man, got cracked upside the head with a bottle in Honolulu. Those people out there you don't want to play with either. Remember, when you're in those islands, sometimes those boys as pretty as those girls are. It's the truth. He may have been taking on a he-she. I'm joking, but he could have been.
Probably.
But listen, what's going on, D? On the other side, hey, everybody, D's a little mumbly because he has his wisdom teeth pulled, but as we go along, we'll talk about how he got into a fight in the Honolulu club and they cracked him upside the mouth with a bottle.
And now he's over here looking like through
Kanye
the wire.
Kanye
West.
Exactly.
Sound like, God. What's up? We're morning sports junkies.
Man. Well, look, that's a fantastic story, and we're going to go over a whole host of topics. Anybody watching ESPN this morning, you saw Obama got in talking about the safety in football, and he was saying that he's more concerned with the players in college than the players in pros, and that the NCAA needs to do something to help those players in college because basically they just throw them out, and if they're hurt in their brain, if they have CTE, those kids are going to have issues going forward, and it's not like you have a pension or a union to protect you and look after you, which is interesting. Sometimes it's like I don't know if I really feel like him talking about needing to do a couple other things. But still, it is something that I think as a society we need to address. Football isn't safe, and I love
and that's
football.
a good point, too, he brought up, because they are younger, and not all of those kids are going to the NFL.
The majority of them are. What is it, like 90? What is it, like 1%? It's something really crazy as far as it. And, you know, it's more football teams out there than anything else as far as in college. Instead, more players. But the percentage is extremely low is the amount of kids that actually make it to the pros. NFL, so you got to look at how many of those kids.
And then that percentage who actually make it to the pros it even gets cut in half as if, you know, how far of if they can make a living off of the pros, too. So he did bring up a good point. Even
more, Dallas up at 312-564-7375. But even more on top of that, I was listening to somebody, and we don't look at the fact that the NFL inherits players with CT. We're talking about kids that have been banging heads since Pop Warner. You know, kids that are banging head in high school. I know I got concussions in high school. Then go to another level, kids that getting concussions in college. And you got to talk. This happens in practice. Forget the game. You get rocked in practice, man. At least we practice hitting probably 3 days out of the week.
Yeah.
You know, and we didn't go light. I mean, there was some things we kind of went light. Like we were chop blocking or something, we'd give a heads up. But we didn't go light. But look, we're going to continue talking that and talking a little basketball and some of the other things that's happened this week in sports. This is the D and Davis Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Dial us up, 312-564-7375.
Last time on the D and Davis Show. Just breaking down Mark Trestman. Now we have somebody who can really break him down. It's Rick Moffitt of CJAD 800 up in Montreal, and also the play-by-play analyst for the Montreal Alouettes.
The cliched football is football and winning is winning. And I believe Trestman is a master at all things football, as he put it the other day in your city.
And that was just a taste. If you want more, listen to the D and Davis Show every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. And we're back here on the D and Davis Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Dial us up at 312-564-7375. What's going on, guys? D, what's going on, man? Tell us. Can you tell us a little bit what happened to you? They knocked you out?
Yeah, I was put up under. I know I sound like Kanye West on Through the Wire. Get all 4 wisdom teeth snatched up.
Woo! Oh, I thought you only got 2 of them.
No, got all 4.
Man.
4 wisdom teeth pulled.
So can you chew really right now? Because if anything gets to the back of your mouth,
are you drinking
like an old woman in my front good teeth?
Exactly.
You drinking Boost for breakfast?
No. I mean, I can eat a little bit, but it's kind of hard.
Yeah, but you can't eat, like, not even joking. So the type of food you're eating, it can be stuff that you have to, like, rip and tear.
Nah. I mean, I can do, like, fish and, mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes and rice and stuff like that.
Okay.
I have been eating raisins. That's been helping me out because I'm on, like, antibiotics and ibuprofen, like these horse pills. And in the beginning, man, it was messing my stomach up. So I was like nauseous for the first couple of days.
Would you eat some crackers to kind of make your stomach feel a little
Nah,
better?
crackers a little bit too hard to eat.
Okay.
So I've been drinking like smoothies and stuff, and whatever. But I'm out.
But look at you made it in though.
Hey, I'm running the board.
D's in here. D is playing hurt.
Playing hurt, but I'm running the board, though.
All right, he's playing his dedication.
I'll hop in every once in a while and say something.
No, we need you, D. The show won't be the show if you're not talking and yapping. It's all three of us together. A three-man weave. But listen, let's talk a little football, all right? Super Bowl's happening next week in New Orleans. We have the 49ers versus the Ravens. Ray Lewis's final hurrah, and probably if they win it, it's probably going to be Ed Reed's too, I would think.
Yeah.
For me, and last week, to be honest with you, I was feeling the 49ers. I was like, I don't see the Ravens being able to stop Colin Kaepernick.
Did you see the Ravens being able to stop Tom Brady?
I'm thinking about his feet. I'm thinking about that's the thing, because nobody has been able to stop his feet, not his arm, but his feet. Because this is the thing when you look at that running game, the way that they beat the 49ers beat Seattle. Let me beat Seattle first. Who the 49ers play? Who they beat last week? The Falcons, Dirty Birds. All right. The thing was that outside in had to stay at home. I mean, and not just regularly keep contained. He basically was playing Kaepernick one-on-one, and that running back, that's why you saw those runs like to the right side where Frank Gore and LaMichael James just took it up, because they were even though they saw that the read option was in place, they still had to commit to Kaepernick. Yeah. So you basically take one guy. So even if he's passing the ball or not running the ball, his feet are still stopping the other side's defender. So that's what I'm worried about with the Ravens. And the Ravens, but this is a great defense. Now it's not as great as it was in the past.
It's really not great.
No. I meant the intellect. Because it's not as great as it was in the past.
Right.
But this is smart defense. You got some these players on this team have a high football IQ.
Yeah.
All right, so I have to say right now I'm feeling the Ravens a little bit, which in some ways I don't like, even though I want Ray to go out on a good note, even though I'm sick of hearing Ray's mouth. I kind of want Randy to win one, because I don't know if Randy's going to come back next year. And I don't know if the 49ers can, you don't know next year. And I was talking to somebody that was like, well, they can get this person. I'm like, no, Kaepernick could get hurt next year. Alex Smith is going to be gone.
Yeah.
Look, we all see how many quarterbacks last the entire season. I mean, it's probably half and half, something like that. But most quarterbacks get nicked up, miss a game or two or something like that. And we're talking about a running quarterback, so he's going to take more hits, and people are going to have a whole offseason to study him now. See, a lot of this stuff isn't going to work as easy as it did last season. Look at the.
You think they're going to pull the Cam Newton?
No.
Cam Newton, he was able to be really successful his rookie year, and then during the offseason, his opponents got tape on him.
He has a much better coach. One, I don't know if Cam, maybe I can't put it all on Cam. I don't know if Cam dedicated himself to learning football this offseason, learning the passing, learning coverages the way he should have learned. Like you have to, every season you have to work, especially if you're a running quarterback, you have to work on learning football, period. Because you can sit there and try to rely on I was once very upset with Michael Vick because he made a comment saying, I'll never be in the film room like Peyton Manning. That's just not me. And it sounded so stupid to me.
Yeah, it does.
Like, you see how great this guy is, and he's putting himself in the film room like that. You should at least attempt, or I wouldn't even say something that ignorant. Like, I don't like learning. What's wrong with you? Knowing my position, like, you sound like a fool when you say something like that. And I don't know if Cam studied football enough in the offseason. I think because of Harbaugh, and maybe I'm taking something away from Colin Kaepernick, but I think Harbaugh, and to prove himself right, Harbaugh is going to keep teaching him, because this is Harbaugh's guy.
Yeah.
So Harbaugh wants him to succeed. And Colin Kaepernick is 2 years away from getting paid. He basically had a wash year last year. So what, next season, at the end of next season, they're going to start talking a deal with him. It's 4 years, and then you get your new money. So this kid, he has to look at, if he really takes off next year, man, Colin Kaepernick can sit there and get paid.
Especially if he wins the Super Bowl. And the good thing about the 49ers, the advantage they have coming into Sunday next week against the Ravens, is that the Ravens really haven't seen a quarterback yet like Colin Kaepernick. Andrew Luck was probably the most athletic one throughout the playoffs, and he's not even, nowhere. He's athletic, but Colin Kaepernick is clearly more athletic and better with his feet.
Listen.
So that can present problems. Like you said, too, the defense of the Ravens, their IQ is high, and we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how Ray Lewis and Pat Kruger and Terrell Suggs played that option. I want to see what Jim with John. John draws up versus his brother's option.
It's gonna be a good Super Bowl. Yeah. This should on paper be a good Super Bowl because I think you have two good coaches. I think you have two pretty good teams. I think we all think the 49ers team. I was having a debate with one of my coworkers, and she had made a comment that the Ravens defense was better, and I was like, no, if we go player to player, the 49ers defense
is stacked
and it's younger.
Who are you talking about?
Barbasian Ann.
Oh. She a football fan?
She's a sports fan. I mean, she's in the sport. She knows a little bit about sports. I'll give her that much. She can talk some sports. So I don't just smack her face and I never smack a woman. Jokes. Nah, I never smack a woman. D and Davis Shaw always say, keep your hands to yourself and got to beat it, just leave. But no.
And when you look at the 49ers defense, too, they're way more physical and hard-hitting. The only thing the Ravens probably have for them as far as when it comes to, like, intimidation is Bernard Pollard. Mm-hmm. You know, he can knock somebody out. But everybody else, Ray Lewis dropped 30 pounds. He's not a heavy hitter anymore. When he tackles, he actually, tackles with the runner falling forward, as opposed to Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, or Alden Smith being able to smack you and just stopping your force right where it's at.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're definitely right. The defense of the 49ers is younger and it's more athletic. Right now, it's the better defense. But the defense of the Ravens has a higher football IQ.
Yeah.
And I think the defense of the Ravens, look, I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't want to say they're going to do anything dirty, but they're going to try to put some hits on the 49ers. They're going to make sure nobody's going to want to come over that middle. All right, you're going to see guys get tagged. It wouldn't surprise me if Ed Reed gets a fine because if you're going to catch a fine, this is the time to catch a fine. And the funny thing about the Pollard situation, to me, watching it replay, Ridley knocked himself out because Ridley dips his head and hits Pollard on the side of the helmet.
Are you talking about Shane Vereen?
Yeah, is that the play
Shane
that knocked? Shane Vereen.
It was nasty.
Yeah, people were like Pollard knocking. No, Pollard. If you watch the hit, Pollard it gets hit on the side of his helmet, and Vereen is ducking down and putting his crown of his head into his helmet, and he knocks himself out.
He didn't get fined for that, did he?
No, he got fined for something else. He got fined for I forgot what he got fined for, but it was some dirty play. But it wasn't that one.
If you didn't see that hit, go on YouTube right now and see that hit because it was nasty.
Yeah, it was a pretty terrible hit. But anyway. What quarterback do you think is going to play better? You think Colin Kaepernick is going to have a better game than Pretty Flacco?
That's a toss-up because they've been saying Flacco, his QB rating in the playoffs has been ridiculous, or it's been really good. And Colin Kaepernick's been playing through the roof too.
Flacco has hands down been the best quarterback in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's not even a discussion right now.
Okay.
Did you call him Pretty Flacco?
That's because it's something that A$AP Rocky calls himself, so I just threw that out there.
I think he ain't giving people nicknames.
Hey, what's cold? I'm still hip in the streets. I'm in the streets doing my thing. But I don't know. But this game, okay, this is the thing. You look at it with Colin Kaepernick. He's turned the ball over. Did he fumble in the beginning of the last game? He didn't have any turnovers in like the first. Okay, but the game before that, he threw the pick six. And he straightened up. And most rookie quarterbacks, and this is his first year starting, so basically he's a rookie. Most rookie quarterbacks will fold when that happens, especially early in the game.
But you know what? You really haven't been seeing that this year with all these rookie quarterbacks folding. This is why the NFL has a bright future. You think we've been seeing rookie quarterbacks folding?
Oh, that's a good point, to be honest with you. But I'm still saying majority of the time, rookie quarterbacks fold.
In the past.
Go ask Blaine Gabbert and what's his name?
But Blaine Gabbert, he never started off. He never put himself in a position to fold. He came right out of the gates folding.
He's folding. Folding. I come off the bus folding.
Right.
Look, so it's one of those things. But you're right. These three quarterbacks, and Russell Wilson, and Andrew Luck, now Colin Kaepernick, and in what's RG3.
Cam Newton is still in that category too.
He's still young. Newton's in this category?
Look. 1 year you can't put a guy down for having a bad year. It takes about 2 or 3 years to officially.
I can't give you 3.
All right, yeah. So
I can give you 2.
Yeah,
2 because we're in a microwave society now.
Yeah,
it's not one of those days. It's like you keep giving him a chance. You're gonna get people fired. Look, somebody did get fired because of his season this year. Now the whole team was put together terribly as far as the Panthers. The GM got canned. Chico's still there. But it's one of those things where you can get everyone fired if you're the quarterback alone and you have back-to-back seasons of suckage. Mm-hmm. All right, you're right. Maybe I am being hard on Cam Newton. I'll wait till next year. I'll hold out a little something and wait till next year and see how he plays. But if he doesn't get his head in the books, all right, and studies football and instead of trying to dominate with his physicality, he's not going to last that long. And I don't mean as far as his body's not going to last. He's not going to last as a top-tier young quarterback anymore.
Yep, he's just going to become too predictable in his game.
So listen, we're going to talk a little bit more of the Super Bowl on the other side of the break. Maybe we're going to get D to yap a little bit more. This is the D and Davis Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Dial us up at 312-564-7375.
Last time on the D and Davis Show, I didn't know there was a Hall of Fame for whores.
Oh, she is either she's the first inductee or she came in her own. Oh yeah, there's a Hall of Fame.
That's another drop. You got Marshawn Lynch. Feed him the Skittles.
That's my problem.
What's your problem?
All right, and this is the whole thing where we're talking about Alex Smith versus Kaepernick. If Alex Smith was in that game yesterday, they would have gotten blown out. Alex Smith cannot put up points like that.
And that was just a bit of the fun we bring every Sunday morning from 11:30 to 1:30 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
And we're back here on the D and Davis Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. As always, dial us up at 312-564-7375. We were just doing a little Super Bowl talk. But D, you said something. You had something that you wanted to kind of bring up to and get this show popping.
Yes. Here's a question. I want everybody out there on Twitter, and like I said before, hey, you can tweet us at D and Davis Show. And of course, dial the number 312-564-7375. Here's a question for everybody out there. Is the Tom Brady era over? Now, yes, they went to the AFC Championship this year. Yes, they went to the Super Bowl last year. But they have not won a Super Bowl since 2004.
8 years.
Been 8 years.
Yeah, it's not over.
He's 35. Wait a moment. He's 35. He's getting up there in age. You think he might have another good 2-3 years left in him. Now, the one thing I will say about the Patriots is that they always find weapons, and they always do very well in the regular season. And with Bill Belichick's system, we saw when Brady was out for the whole entire season, he had Matt Castle who came in and just kept the ball kept rolling. So, not saying that he's over just yet, but I'm going to pose that question. 312-564-7375, or hit us up on Twitter at D and Davis Show. Is the Tom Brady era over?
No. I mean, it's... Okay, he's 35 right now, right? So basically, he has 3 more to 4 more good years if nothing happens to his legs, basically.
But his knee has already been damaged once. He came back. He's slightly slow as Paul Konerko.
I saw that foot race.
That one play in the AFC Championship, he could have clearly made it there to the first down.
What about when he faked out Urlacher?
That was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
That's like 5. But listen,
5 years ago.
Look.
That means he was 30.
Look, put it like this. He is probably the best or second best quarterback in the NFL right now, right?
The best.
Yeah. He would say, so it's him and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, and don't forget about Drew Brees. I know
you're not going to put Drew Brees over either one of those two.
Yeah.
No, not right now, no.
Okay. So it's him and Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and then Peyton Manning's back into the discussion. All right, but he's pulling up the rear. He's the best quarterback. I'm just saying right now, he's the best quarterback. His arm is still good. He's intelligent. That's another thing we're talking about. He's probably, and he doesn't get credit for this, he's probably the second and third smartest quarterback in the NFL, and I still could be putting him low as far as knowing the game. Everyone just doesn't have to do what Peyton does and go up there and act like they're always changing something to kind of show that they're smart. You know, like that's one of those things that Peyton does, and I love Peyton Manning, but sometimes it's like, Peyton, shut up. All right, I was going to say something else, but shut your ass up. He has at least 4 years, all right, and then it's another thing. He could get traded.
So wait, hold on. I doubt that ever happened. No, but you're telling us that you think that he's going to be a quality quarterback that can probably win a Super Bowl for you at the age of 40.
Well, look at it like this: wasn't John Elway
But John Elway was a guy who can at least move around a little bit. This guy's a statue.
At the age of 40, he was still able
John
to
Elway wasn't. I mean, it was a helicopter spin.
But he would still get out the way.
Look,
Tom Brady can't do that.
John Elway couldn't throw the ball at that age like Tom Brady can either. John Elway was not throwing that rock the way that he's throwing the rock. You still have to look at Gronk's going to be out there. Aaron Hernandez is going to be out there. They're going to add more to the receiving core. They're starting to run the ball this season.
Yep.
Think about that. They're finally running the ball now. So they're going to start taking more pressure off of Tom Brady, and he won't have to do as much. Go ahead.
And with them running the ball, right now, at Tom Brady being the age of 35, he's a great quarterback. Probably 1 or 2 in the league, like you said. When he gets to the age of 39, 38, even though he might decline in as far as talent-wise, he's still a quarterback that you can take and win a Super Bowl with on the
that's
team.
Like he's not going to become mentally inept.
Yep.
By the time could you run the play? Like I'm 38. It's not going to be one of those situations. So I mean, in quarterbacks, and this is not the one thing we haven't talked about. 4 years from now, quarterbacks are going to be more protected than they are right now, and you can't touch them right now. People have been saying that for the last few years. These quarterbacks are going to play longer because you cannot touch them. You cannot, even though you tackle them and they do get hit, they don't get hit the same they got hit 5 years ago.
If he's lucky, he might get changed to two-hand touch sacks.
So I'll put I still think he's going to be an elite quarterback 2-3 years down the line. Yeah.
See, I don't know if he's going to be elite as the Tom Brady that we're used to seeing right now. I actually do think he's 36 right now. I think about
is
a
he
year
35
or
or 36?
Oh, about 35, 36.
Okay.
But you know what? We got an update coming up right quick. So 312-564-7375. This is the D and Davis Show right here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. So we got Ricky with the update. Ricky, what's going on? D and Davis Show right here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Give us a call, 312-564-7375. I threw the question out there, everybody out there listening. Is this the end of the Tom Brady era? Ken's saying no. I think, Ricky, you said no too, right?
Absolutely not.
I'm saying that I think the sun is starting to set.
No, but is it the end? The sun.
I'm saying it's the sun.
The sun is setting on me right now, and I'm only a young 17.
You're not a spry. You're not a spry Tom Brady with Gisele Bundchen. You go home with Gisele Bundchen, they can rub you down.
Oh, you damn right. And I love you, baby.
Now, when you say the sun is setting, D, what do you see that it's setting?
I say about 2 seasons.
Nah.
2 seasons?
About 2 seasons.
2 seasons as in where he's completely done?
I can see him retiring about 2 seasons. Yeah.
Oh, no, he can't do that.
Why not?
Because you.
How much
you
is
just,
contract?
you
How
just,
much level
no,
is
no,
contract?
you
Look
just,
that up. Look that up.
You just said, I'm talking. You just said.
I know you're talking.
You
What?
just said Giselle at the end of that, right?
Yeah.
Dog, it's stuff that you have to do to keep a woman like that. And first and foremost, he's a football player.
Okay.
So he has to keep that football going as long as possible. All right. You want her career to be ending at least before or just around the same time.
She ain't got to worry about her career being because she's the breadwinner.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
She brings.
But it's still one of those things you want to have a high Q rating. All right, to show, hey, baby, I'm up here with you.
But
look at me.
But it's not like Tom Brady's going to,
fade into the sunset.
Yeah, he's a
but
nice
listen,
guy.
being an announcer,
he's promoting his Uggs. He's everywhere.
Being an announcer with Uggs on isn't the same as being a top flight.
He
QB
could be a model.
He
could I'm going to go ahead and just model. He's a very pretty man. He's a very pretty man.
All right, Matt Ty.
But I'm just saying though. I think in 2 years I can definitely see you know what. If I can definitely come out saying you know what, I did this. I got 3 Super Bowl wins. I'd have been to 5 of them. I got a beautiful wife at home, another kid on the way.
Come on,
I'm doing all this other stuff. Football is not my life. I can walk away.
He's gonna be with them in 5 years. He's gonna have all the time he needs to be with them. He may as well get as much football in as possible right now. Because you're gonna have your family as long as nothing happens to anybody. You're still gonna have the family. You got nannies anyway. You're not just not like one of those things.
But it ain't nothing like being there with your kid. You know that.
Well, ask what was it, Bridget Moynihan? Where's her kid at? I know, in the streets. Right. It's probably in Sao Paulo somewhere. They dropped him off in Latin America.
That kid is all right. But I'm just saying, I can definitely see it. That's all I'm saying. I can definitely see Tom Brady in 2 years saying, you know what, I'm done.
Look, let me ask y'all a question real quick. What did you think of the Matt Ty interview?
I actually didn't see it.
Okay, you haven't seen any clips of it?
Are you talking about the Good Morning America?
No, the Katie Couric.
Oh, the Katie Couric?
Yeah, did you see any of the highlights?
Did not. Fill me in.
So,
let me see if I can find some sound.
Katie asked him as far as are you gay? Matt Ty was like, no, like I gets it in. Like he did one of those, like literally, right? He did one of those.
I thought I heard that he said it in like a calm, cool manner type of way.
Pull it up, D, if you could pull it. No, he said it like someone that's a little young. Just like as serious as everything that was happening. This was the only time he kind of got a little sideways with it. But it's just funny to me because it's like he's talking to this girl. It's like, hey, Matt Ty. Hey, baby. How are you doing today? I miss you, Matt. Have you heard any of the phone calls?
I have not, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Dude, I have been laid up, drugged up.
Okay.
All right, wait a minute. I've got some sound. Here it is from the Katie Couric show, Matt Tateo interviewing. Katie Couric interviewing Matt Tateo.
You attempted a few times to talk with her through FaceTime, and you would see basically a black box, and she would say to you, I can see you.
Yeah.
I don't know why you can't see me.
Correct.
Didn't you think that was a little weird?
To be honest, no.
Okay, hold on. First thing. It's not weird for you to see a black box. And yeah, look at that face. Okay,
he's just so naive.
Are you serious?
Hold on. We got more.
No,
I didn't.
Are you that technologically challenged? I am, but someone your age shouldn't be, right?
Now, Katie Couric just basically said you're an idiot.
Yeah, I saw a black screen, and she said, "I can see you, and I can see me. You should be able to see me." And I was like, "I don't know what's wrong with your camera, but I can't see you." I wasn't paying attention, I guess.
Now, how long did this go on for?
I don't know if it was exactly 3 years or 1 year, but it was a minute. It was a long time.
All right,
that this went on.
Let's continue.
I'm sure you're a BMOC, big man on campus. You're reportedly very well liked, very popular.
I hope so.
You go to Notre Dame. I'm imagining there are a lot of nice young women who go to school there. Why wouldn't you want a real girlfriend who you could actually spend real time with in person?
Yeah. Well,
now that's basically saying, dude, you could be doing what you need to be doing.
My girlfriend living around my grandma's house.
This Lene person, there's so many similarities. She was Polynesian, supposedly. She's Samoan. I'm Samoan. She loved her faith, and she knew a lot about, I'm Mormon, and she knew a lot about that. I found a lot of, peace and a lot of comfort in being able to talk to somebody, and they knew my standards, they knew my culture, they knew what is expected of me, and I knew what's expected of her.
One of the theories, many theories, Manti, making the rounds, is somehow you created this whole scenario to cover up your sexual orientation. Are you gay?
No, far from it. Far from that.
All right, so that's where we get the far from it.
No, I gets it in. Listen, I heard this phone call. We have another clip of, what is it, Renee Tuisopo? What's his name? The dude?
Yeah, the dude from the Cardinals?
Yeah, he called Manti, and it went something like this. Hey, Manti, this is Renee. I'm tired of this. You love me. I know you love me, don't you? Yes, actually, I do. Just be real with yourself and stop doing the voice. Yeah, I do love you too, Manti. No, go back to the voice. I'm sorry.
Are you serious?
No,
what the?
No, this is just what? This because this is ridiculous. Yeah, all right, this
really is.
We're sitting there. I'm supposed to put this all on the strength of it. All right, he was lying in the first. And I'm gonna tell you like this. This was me in this situation. As soon as I had found out that something was going on, was it December the 3rd or the 2nd, whichever day that was. And then a few days later, when they asked him in the interview, I would have started saying in interviews, I'm not talking about that anymore. I wouldn't, if he doesn't want to come out and just, I'm telling you, I would say, you know what? There's some stuff going on with that. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
I think, but I do think that will probably add fuel to the fire.
312-564-7375.
If you want to call him, we're talking to Manti Te'o.
I believe him.
I know you do. But listen.
You believe what?
I believe Manti Te'o. I really do believe him.
Wait. Can I ask you this, Dino? Are
you serious?
I'm being dead serious.
We're going to get in on him in a second.
I stand firmly on this.
Listen, this is the problem, though, D. This is the problem. The fire was going to be added to it anyway. And I thought about that when I thought about this in my head, that as soon as I start saying that people were going to start investigating it more. Somebody in a news journalist is going to start picking, you know what, I want them to, because I'm going to start saying, listen, this is when I found out about it. I didn't want to talk about it because we were going to play in the national championship game, so I stopped talking about it because it seemed like something was wrong, but I didn't want it to affect my team. After that, I was going to come forward and tell everybody, hey, I was dismayed. That's how, especially if you're supposed to be as religious. Now, we can say he's young and all this and all that. All these questions that come about his sexuality, about is he naive, all of these questions are valid questions.
Yeah, they are.
Because they say that Ronnie is covering up for his cousin, and she was also one of the people that was doing the female voice. But Ronnie has been one that's been doing his fake voice. Like if you listen to some of the calls, it can sound like a dude trying to be a female. It's like one of them. He's like, you said what you had to say and how you feel and all this and all that.
So why don't you believe
he's
him?
Breaking up with? Because it's preposterous.
Because you know what a dude voice sound like when you trying to pretend to be a girl. Unless he
if he never saw it, and this is why
yes,
this is
why
isn't that a problem though? He never saw. Isn't that weird to you?
It is a little weird to me, but it makes sense because he, like you said, he is naive. And before he attended Notre Dame and became the BMOC big man on campus, he found her. He had this girlfriend, and
no,
But
I thought
no, because remember the original stories that he met her after Stanford, like sophomore year.
Yeah,
he met her after a Stanford game.
He wasn't known. He wasn't really known.
Yes, I knew Matt Tateo when Charlie Weiss brought him in. Matt Tateo was he was heralded coming in from Notre Dame. People were surprised that he would come to a Catholic
He wasn't
school.
as big as he is right
I
now.
agree,
Definitely.
but listen, in the islands he was huge. As far as coming a parade All-American, Matt Tateo did not just show up on Notre Dame and carve a niche for himself.
Well, you can probably say you were one of the few people that actually know Matt Tateo when he was a sophomore.
Yeah, a lot of people knew him. Yes, I'm gonna tell you why. Because Charlie Weiss was bringing in
a big sports.
Let me finish. Charlie Weiss was bringing in huge recruiting classes, and this was one of the gem of his classes. Getting Matt Tateo. Yeah. Seriously, this was like, and he got Matt Tateo. That's why I told you last week when we were talking about will his stock drop, and I was saying, well, he wasn't a good tackler. Like he had some knocks on him, but this kid was big coming out of high school. This wasn't just he got to Notre Dame and established himself. This is like prodigy. Now, his father wasn't a great football, but this is like when you're bringing in one of the top flight guys and you're expecting him to be great also. And his character then was something that was heralded of coming in. Like, look at this kid. He's a great athlete, but he's a great person too.
I thought they said that this was going on for what, about 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
And so
he's a senior.
Yeah, and so like I was saying, he's naive, definitely, and then he sees a girl that has a bunch of stuff in common with him, and like he said, she understood his standards. Where did he meet her at? Over the internet or something?
That's what they're saying. That clearly he lied. He lied about that. Now I don't know what the Katie Couric thing. Well, he did address that. He said he didn't want us to look like an idiot by saying he never saw her face to face. Which then you're gonna lie to your daddy.
He admitted that he did though.
But he has to now.
Right. Well, why does he have to?
Oh, because he can't come out and say, "Yeah, I was talking to some dude and I loved it." I mean,
seriously.
So you think he's
on the islands? He can't say that. With his Mormon faith, he can't say that. Even in Notre Dame, like it's not. It's one of those. If you look at the people that are behind him or the cultures and who he is and what he represents as far as religion wise, a lot of those people aren't as accepting as the entire world as some people are of gay culture.
Oh, so you think he's gay?
He could be. It's not impossible. Why is that? Listen, he was talking to a dude for 3 years on the phone. He may have, some people say when you get catfished that you, at one point you realize it and then you keep going on with it. He may have found like he.
Nah, I don't believe that at all.
It's impossible that he's gay.
I don't think
somebody's gay.
I don't think it's impossible. I don't think
nobody's
it's impossible.
gay out there.
Look, it was Martin Luther King and Tupac who once said, "The media will make a bad man look good. And a good man look bad."
I know you didn't go MLK on Matt Tateo.
Yes, I did.
This is the D and Davis Show on Chicagoland Sports Radio. We're going to finish this up on the other side. Dial us up 312-564-7375. Martin Luther.
I'm D, one half of the D and Davis Show. Check us out every Sunday from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. If you want to talk about the Bulls, Bears, Blackhawks, White Sox, Cubs, give us a call. 312-564-7375. Don't forget, that's Sunday from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Isn't that right, Davis?
Definitely, D. If you're tired of the same old rigmarole, stats, blah, blah, this team, blah, blah, and you're looking for a lot more fun with your sports listening, tune in to the D and Davis Show every Sunday from 11:30 to 1:30. Right here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Dial us up at 312-564-7375. Remember, it's about more than just sports. It's about enjoying yourself. Join in. And we're back here on the D and Davis Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Dial us up at 312-564-7375. Ricky's ready to punch me in my face for Matt Tateo's love.
I'm really not, honestly.
But go ahead, Ricky. You were saying that that you feel like, one, why are we even talking about this?
Right. Why is this still up for discussion? Even when did this come out? Like, when this made top headlines.
He waited too, Ricky.
Center.
He waited. Part of the reason this is still going on is because he didn't address it right away, too. He was on Katie Couric this week. Mm-hmm. So he's prolonged this himself. Now, Renee's going to be on Dr. Phil this week, so it's prolonged for that because we're waiting to see. Oh, Renee's coming out, too. Coming out more ways than one.
Renee,
Tuisapopo, yeah, he's going to be.
for the Cardinals?
No, I thought it was the full. I thought his family is a football playing family. Now, remember, it was the fullback from the Cardinals that said he saw Lene Kakua, but that's not Renee. Renee is somebody who his football career either didn't work, but supposedly he's a.
Renee is a dude?
Yeah. Rodney. It's like
okay.
Yeah. So he's the person that orchestrated this whole thing. Or some of his family members say he wasn't in it by himself, but he's going to take the heat for everybody. Because they say it sounds like one of his female cousins was doing some of the voice too.
This sounds like just the biggest hoax, and as if everybody was seeing this, catfished.
Yep.
That this must be the greatest one of all time. Has to be.
It's fun to me.
Has to be the greatest one of all time. If Ricky, like you're saying you believe this and you believe him.
Yeah, I do.
This has to be the greatest. The greatest. The only thing I think what Ken and I are saying is like you really can't trust him because he didn't come out with this before, and then when he did find out about it, he used it to propel himself.
So he lied.
He lied.
So because you're saying why don't we believe him? So Ricky, if I come in here and I lie to you for a month, you're supposed to start believing me right away? I have to earn your trust back. Now look,
absolutely.
You have to earn your trust back?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if Matt Ty was lying about something as serious as somebody dying of cancer the same day his grandmother died,
which was one of his family members, he had a family member that also died.
His grandmother, I just said.
His grandmother, and he had another one, a cousin, a female cousin or something like that he was explaining on the very first day this interview came out. Mm-hmm. And they took that, when they interviewed him, they took that as if he was talking about his fake girlfriend.
I saw him, though. I saw them ask him, wait, outside of that, and I don't know that story. I've seen, after he knew in December, them ask him about his girlfriend and his grandmother's death and how it affected him. And he went on about those two.
Didn't he say he was going, at the big game, I think, against Michigan,
send us some white roses.
Some white roses and 2 picks up to heaven.
Yeah. And
so he was talking about his girlfriend. He wasn't talking about this cousin.
Yeah, no. He went along with this, Ricky. I mean, he tried to use it to get a Heisman.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't he tell Katie Couric, like, what do you expect me? What would you say?
Exactly.
I didn't say.
He said he lied.
Yeah, he said he lied.
He said he told Katie Couric he lied.
Yeah, he lied. He said it.
He said it to Katie Couric. So now I'm supposed to trust him?
Lied about what?
He lied about after he found out that he kept going on like the girl really died.
Right. I believe she asked him, why did you lie, whatever like that. She's like, no.
He said what you just said. What am I supposed to do?
What was I supposed to do? What would you do? Put yourself in my shoes.
You look at all that I'm getting, all of this, this hype that I'm getting, love. And you know what? Because I'm straight. You hating on me, Katie? You hating on my time.
You're gonna have to bring that video clip
up. I'm sorry.
I find it.
Because it's just hilarious to me. This is just, it tickles me. Let me say that. And as long as the Bears don't draft Matt Ty, it's all good with me. Right?
The dude doesn't have talent?
No, it's not even. I think Matt Tyteo can be. Let me put it like this. All right, let's go to a football perspective. One of the biggest things about Matt Tyteo and that was going to prepare him to be a top 10 pick was his character also. Because you were looking at him, you were bringing in a leader. This guy was going to be the head of your defense for the next 10 years. All right. And the face of your team probably.
Yep.
So now that's gone. I'm not still saying he can't be a very good football player, but as far as all that other stuff, and he may grow to still get some of that back, because we live in a forgiving society. So he can gain some of that back, but it's going to take a second for him to gain some of that back, and he's going to have to open up a little bit more. And this story is just opening up. You think about what we're going to know about this from next year. Because this is going to be one of those things where stuff pops out about it. Then we're going to find out this. Oh, man, did you really know? And his best bet is to come all the way clean now because everything that's done in the dark for 9 times out of 10 except for political assassination of Biggie and Tupac will come to light.
The truth shall set you free.
Yeah.
And we all know that. Just tell the truth.
I'm looking
you take it on the chin, then you move on.
I'm looking forward to this Renee interview on Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. This is Dr. Phil. Renee. Can you tell us a little bit about you and Matt Ty's relationship?
Yes. It started off at a Stanford game.
Ken is over here assuming that Manti is gay.
I'm saying it's not impossible is what I'm saying.
This is all stemming off of his reaction when Katie Couric asked him.
No, that's not at all. Look, I thought this week's anybody with it was like when this is for most things. And most of us in Chicago listen to sports radio around Chicago. I'm not going to name the sports radio shows, but every sports radio show has said this. Like, there's been more guys that saying this is a possibility than not. And we're men. All right, let's look at this from a male perspective. Let's just say John Anderson. We all know John. We all hang out with John. And John's been going on for the last 3 years that he had this girlfriend, right? And then we found out that she was a lie. He told us she died from cancer. She got into a car accident, all this crazy stuff. He never went to go see her. We always was wondering, like, man, why does he ever go see her? Then we come to find out she didn't even die. Then we come to find out a guy was on the phone with him. Are we going to make jokes to something about his sexuality? I mean, aren't we?
But he didn't know a dude was on the phone with him. He had no idea.
Even though he sounded like this.
they played the clips. Did they not play the clips of the girl's voice?
It was like, yes.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
I love you, Matt. Matt.
Sounded just like a chick.
I had a frog in my throat.
He's just naive. That's all it is, man. He's just really naive, and he
Well, here's a question for you then, Ricky. I saw, I think it was Chris Carter and Jackson. What's the
Tom
Jackson. And I said this too. I would be more afraid to take the guy now because he's so gullible. And they said, listen, the NFL is a very, very, very cruel world. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to be that gullible, you're not going to last that long. They wasn't even bringing up the point about his skill set on the field. Mm-hmm. They was worried about the fact that he's so gullible.
They need to bring a team counselor alongside of him.
You're right.
They do. A lot of people. A lot of teams need to do that regardless.
Totally. If you're right, if you draft him, you need to center him around, put him around people that are going to protect him, so you can get what you want out of your product. One, like, no, I'm not saying that this means like he's a bust or anything like that, but I'm also saying just as far as if we take away his character and being a leader and just look at him as athleticism, his draft stock should drop. And when we're Bears fans, we're talking about replacing Brian Urlacher, and we're still going to be basically running that cover two. When you're talking about that linebacker in the middle, backpedaling to get deep, I mean, he's almost good enough to do it. Like, it's not impossible for him to do it, but we've been spoiled by lack speed and by lack height.
We've been spoiled by middle linebackers for our history.
Yeah, you're right. But just when we're saying about Lack in the cover two, even if Lack isn't further enough back, he's so tall he can jump up and smack a lot of balls. So it's gonna be a little dip by the play of the middle linebacker because Brian Urlacher is a Hall of Fame player. But if we're looking at replacing him with him, I don't know if middle linebacker is the most important thing in the first round when we don't have any offensive linemen.
Hold on, I think I might have found the part where he said, "What would you do?" Let me see if this is it.
Phone call on December 6th, saying that she's alive, and then I'm going to be put on national TV 2 days later.
Oh, wait a minute, let me bring it back. I think that I just missed it. There it is.
You knew something was up at that point.
Yes.
Finally, you knew something was up.
Yes.
2 days after that, at the Heisman Trophy ceremony, you were interviewed, and you repeated the story that your girlfriend had in fact died of cancer. Mm-hmm. Let's listen.
I mean, I don't like cancer at all. You know, cancer, I lost both my grandparents and my girlfriend to cancer.
That's a lie. Why would you say that?
At that time, I didn't know. Let's be honest with you. Like, I did not know.
Come on, this person calls and says it's Lene.
And then she says
I told
it's
you
Leah.
I had died, and I mean, you knew you kept telling, you stuck to the script, and you knew that something was amiss, Manti.
Correct.
Why?
Well, if anybody put yourself in my situation, Katie, put yourself in my situation.
All right, Ricky. So basically, you said, "Put yourself in my situation." What was I supposed to do?
He said
tell the truth.
He said he didn't know.
No, Ricky's lying. He's lying, right, boy? He's lying right there. He just lied and said he can say I was confused. Listen, I'm gonna tell you how the Renee what's her name called him on December 6th. Hey, Matt, I'm back alive. What? You're back alive? You died from cancer. How the hell did that happen? I was hiding from drug dealers.
The reason he told Katie the reason he told Katie to put herself in his shoes was because at the time they were asking him the question, just right around the time he found out that supposedly his girlfriend was still alive. He told Katie to put herself in his shoes because he was
high.
Man, I cannot get my thoughts out.
Can you do this update? Can you do this update though?
Yeah.
Yours update? All right.
Yeah,
here goes. Here's Ricky with the update. If you want to hear the best sports talk right here in Chicago, check out the D and Davis Show every Sunday from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. We're talking about the Bulls, Blackhawks, White Sox, Cubs, and of course, our beloved Chicago Bears. So give us a call at 312-564-7375. Let us know what you think. Hey, it's the D and Davis Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Let me get back to what I was saying.
Wait, can we say this is D and Davis Show first? on Chicagoland Sports Radio. Go ahead, Rick.
312-564-7375 or tweet us at D and Davis Show.
So he had no idea if she was alive or not at the time.
Are you out of your mind?
He had no idea.
She called him.
She called him. At that time, he was already wondering if it was a hoax. He didn't know what to think.
Hold on.
Because it was reported to him that she died. And then 2 days right before that interview, when he was at the Heisman all dressed up and stuff, the one Katie Curry brought back up, he had no idea what to think, if she was alive or not.
She was alive. He talked to a dead person on the phone. What does that mean? She's alive.
But it was reported that she was reported dead. And then, like what... And
Listen,
then and he actually brought into her actually being dead.
Hey, think about this. This is what supposedly was said to him. She said she had to get low because drug dealers were running after her. I'm not joking. This is what he said. When she came back to life, she said, I faked my death because drug dealers were after me. So he knew when he said this himself, a voice that sounded like his girlfriend, all right, that he thought was dead, called him on that day. He was like, what the hell? Yeah. He asked her to send him a picture with a timestamp on it. So
Why would he ask her to send him a picture?
Because he was wanted proof then.
But he didn't know what she looked like.
Yes, he did because he
didn't.
Yes, he did. She had the Twitter pictures up on a Twitter account that Lene had put up on there and got from his classmate. Do you know this story? Because no, Renee Tusil-Popo had a girl in his class. You haven't seen the girl? She's making the rounds too on the media circuit. She just was on somebody's show this week. All right.
Yeah, she was.
Renee got her. The story I'm telling you about the timestamp. He got her. He told her, he's like, look, my cousin's in the hospital with cancer. Could you please get a photo? Make a photo, but write MSMK on it. Some initials that has something to do with what Matt Ty would know about Linnea. All right. Oh, girl was like, it sounded weird. She took it anyway. They have the photo up on.
So you got yourself in Manti's shoes right now, thinking all through this right now, talking about I'm talking about as far as knowing what to think after you bought into your girlfriend.
You know she's not dead, but she's not dead, Ricky. You talked to her on the phone.
I would have been completely suspicious.
Okay, wait. Let's just say right now,
because what were they sending him that proved that she was dead? What was he getting?
He wasn't getting it. That's what people brought that up, and we can say he was gullible with that, but he wasn't gullible when he heard the voice that he knew was his girlfriend call him from returning from death. Unless she's Jesus.
That's when he probably, started thinking, this is a hoax.
They did. That's why he asked for the timestamp.
And that's why he said she was dead at the interview.
No, he should have said, I don't know what the hell is going on in the interview, what he should have said.
It's more and more coming out, and I'm watching the interview that was on NB's Today Show. If it's the girl, man, she is kind of fly.
Oh, yeah, you see why?
I would be trying to hope she was real, too.
Lene used her photos to create the Twitter account. So every time Matt Ty said that, he thought that was Lene Kuakua. That's who he thought that was her picture. That's who he always thought. He saw her. He thought he knew the person. And also, he was asking people in the islands. But look, I love this topic. I wish we can talk about it more. But we're going to take a quick break here on the D and Davis Show on Chicagoland Sports Radio. Dial us up at 312-564-7375. Hey, it's Davis here, one half of the D and Davis Radio Show here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Make sure you tune us in every Sunday from 11:30 to 1:30 as we cross the whole sports gambit. We're talking Bulls, Bears, Sox, Cubs, Sky, Fire. Look, we're going over everything national and local. So make sure you tune in and dial us up at 312-564-7375. That's the D and Davis Show here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. And we're back here on the D and Davis Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Dial us up at 312-564-7375. We were just having some entertaining conversation about Matt Tateo,
who the media is making out to be a liar.
Which you could be right. I mean, to me, it's one of those things, to be honest with you, I don't care. As far so either way, even if it came out, let's just say it comes out and he's totally right, great for him as a human being.
But at the same time, we do, because somehow this is at the top of the headlines of the sports world.
It's entertaining. We just had a great segment using it. That's the point. That's why we're here, to entertain, all right? That's the point. We don't let this affect you, all right?
No, I'm not. I know.
I'm not saying like me and you, but I'm just saying like whatever.
Ricky just have his conviction.
I'm angry.
I'm not angry. I'm just wondering, why is this at the top of the sports world?
Because we've never heard of this before.
Because he goes to Notre Dame.
That's part of it. But when have we ever heard a huge catfishing story from the Heisman candidate who used his girlfriend's cancer to propel him to second in the Heisman when most voters say they probably wouldn't have voted for him or he wouldn't have got that many points without that story. So it's huge. It's funny as hell. That's just great. The guy was talking to a man for 2 years.
Oh wow!
And enjoyed it.
Well, we did have into some Bulls talk.
We did have some Bulls talk coming up. The Bulls lost last night to the Washington Wizards. What was the final score, Ricky?
73-86.
73-86. Coming off a pretty good month. And one thing that was an issue was the fact that they didn't play with energy, and this was Tom Thibodeau had to say about that.
The first quarter was good, 24-23, good ball movement, good execution. And then as the game went on, we weren't able to sustain our spacing. We didn't have the discipline that was necessary to get the quality shots that we needed to get. I believe it was, we were up 40-35 with about 5 minutes to go. In the second quarter, they went 15-4 to end the second quarter. So we didn't close the half the way we would have liked. And
that's one issue that I will say I've been having with the Bulls of late. They haven't been able to keep teams down, especially at home. Put your foot on their throat and end it. It's been too many games coming back.
How are they going to do that when they don't?
They play good basketball.
No,
they do,
but you don't have a superstar.
It's
hard when you don't have
that's defense. That's defense.
No, to score, but to put your foot on somebody's throat, you have to score points too.
You do, but you also your defense has to be there too. And too many times, especially here in Chicago, that's when the story came out and said Tom Thibodeau was dropping F-bombs every 5 seconds when it was 10-10 at home. Your defense is lacking.
Dog, they play hard. Let's put it like this. We're asking a lot from these guys.
Yeah, we are. And this is what makes Tom Thibodeau top 3 best coach in the NBA.
I'm not arguing about that. But also you have to know a lot of players, and it's been said and asked from former Bulls players, a lot of players probably couldn't play from Tom Thibodeau because of how demanding he is.
Yep.
And sometimes, look, these are human beings, all right? They are playing above and beyond what we all expected them to play. So to think when they don't have – and when I'm saying a superstar, I just even mean a legitimate – scorer, elite scorer. Now, he doesn't have to be a shooter, but somebody that can consistently microwave it up. Not today, Nate's going to do it. Carlos Boozer's been hot. Maybe Luau's going to do it. Jimmy Butler's been playing exceptional when replacing Luau with his hamstring. But I think we're asking a lot of these dudes. Just me personally, I think we're asking a lot. But I want to go to this too, all right? We've had plenty of people come on this show, all right? Myself, D, we've all poked fun at Ricky's predictions of the Bulls making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It looks like the Bulls really have a great chance to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
A really great
chance.
And
if they do, everybody that came on here, D lined them up to smack Ricky, should have to prepare for the Ricky smacking back.
I think it's possible it's not going to
Those smacks just turn into hugs like, Ricky, we're so glad you were right. The Bulls are in the Eastern Conference Finals.
It is January the what? 20 what? We still got a long way to go.
Yeah, we do. You're absolutely right.
I do think that they're going to make the playoff. That was one thing. That was one thing. But a lot of people didn't even think they was going to do that.
No, because but here we all had them in the top 8.
We did.
We all had them.
And we all had them at the 4th
5. Yeah, I was going to say it was 5 and up. It was somewhere around there. So but look where they are right now. Is a thing. All right, look where they are right now.
26-17 without Derrick Rose, only a couple games behind the Heat.
3.5 games behind the Heat.
Yep.
Yeah, so if Derrick Rose comes back at 80% and can play 26, 27 minutes.
All of this credit just goes straight to Tom Thibodeau, who should have been Coach of the Year last year, should be Coach of the Year
He will
again
be Coach of the Year
this year.
He will be Coach of the Year this year.
All of it does.
I hope Vinny doesn't get it because that'd be some crazy mess.
It's going to be probably between them two.
But I think, and this is the thing, he didn't get it last year because they would have basically said he was the greatest coach ever because they don't like giving it out anyway. Phil didn't get him. Phil has one, I believe, one Coach of the Year.
They get more than one, maybe 2.
Look it up. I think Phil has one, but Phil didn't get him, and he deserved it last year. I'm saying if you how the league is, they weren't going to give it to him back-to-back years because coaches usually don't win it, and he was winning it for the same thing, basically. It wasn't winning the championship. You're giving him another one for having the best record. But
the Coach of the Year isn't handed out until – it's handed out before the finals.
Phil only has one, right?
Yep,
No, but this is what I'm saying, Ricky.
1996.
If the Bulls would have won the championship, it would have given them the excuse to go ahead to give him the second one. But since the Bulls just had a great record, and again last year they had a great record, you have to prove it. You know, we're talking about coaching. You really have to prove and show your chops. He proved that he's good in the regular season. They're waiting to see what he can do in the pros. It'd be hard for any coach to win back-to-back coaches of the year in the NBA. They're stingy. Yeah. I think in most sports they're stingy with that award. They just do not pass it out. And if you have a good team, most times they don't give it to you when you have a good team.
Yeah, but when you look at the talent on the Bulls roster and to how he's bringing out the best in all of them, even Jimmy Butler and the bench mob, those guys were nobody coming into Chicago. Tom Thibodeau, the way he was able to work with them, he's the one who they should be thanking Tom Thibodeau for the contracts that they were able to get because of the way the rotation was going when Tibbs was here.
I agree with you.
And give any other coach in the NBA the Bulls roster and tell them to do something with it. I guarantee they won't be standing at 26-17.
Yeah, but I think they'll still be good because you're not giving these players.
They'll be an 8th seed team. Yeah, absolutely.
No. I'm gonna tell you why. One, a player like Joakim Noah and a player like Luol Deng, these players are out to prove that they are better than what people say, and it's not all about Derek. Believe that.
They remind me of like a fundamental Denver Nuggets type of team, but just
You know why? The only reason I disagree with that, and I kind of get what you're saying, their pieces are better than Denver's pieces as far as you have a legitimate center and you have a legitimate swing man.
Together the pieces though.
No, but you have. Yeah, I agree, but I think we're not. We still have to give these players credit. They want to prove this isn't just Derrick Rose's team. Period. Just think if I left this show, let's just say this show becomes a top-rated show, right? And then I leave to go do something else. You're gonna want to prove that y'all can do this without me, even though you may want the best for me. You're still going to want to show this is how great Ricky is. This is how great they want Derek to be back, but you don't think sometimes
First of all, I think when you compare yourself to Derrick Rose, that was just wrong.
Well, I think when you compare Matt Ty to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
I did not compare him to Martin Luther King. I said Martin Luther King. And this is worthy of repeating. Martin Luther King and Tupac both said the media will make a good man look bad and a bad man look good.
Get out of here.
Thank you. Please don't even put Tupac in there. Next Tupac was assassinated. He was shot. He was murdered. He wasn't assassinated.
Dean and Davis Show right here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. 312-564-7375. Ricky, I will say this. I was with you. I'm with you with making the playoffs. I think it's still way, way too early for them to make the Eastern Conference Finals. But we shall also not forget, big shout-outs to Luol Deng and Joakim Noah for making All-Star game. Yep. Now, the question is, when's the All-Star game? Like middle of February?
It's right around
19th.
Yes,
19th? All right, so Luol Deng will be back from playing 1,000 minutes a game that Tom Thibodeau likes to do, run them into the ground. Now that's Jimmy Butler who's getting all those minutes. I don't know what the dude is thinking with that. But it is what it is. But, it's interesting to see.
It's a coaching flaw.
Yep.
You think it's a coaching flaw?
That's his downside.
He doesn't learn his lesson. His sometimes, and it's funny, we used to talk about this in the past, like most people, he has an ego. He wants to prove, if you don't think he wants to prove that he's the best coach in basketball, and the only way you can prove that is through your players.
I don't know. I think that's debatable because when he's made moves before in the past, like pulling out Derrick Rose in clutch situations and bringing in C.J. Watson, I think that's debatable.
No, I meant as far as the amount how he plays his players. Like, he runs them into the ground, and you cannot win in the playoffs with players that have been going hard the entire season. Like, this year is different because they didn't have Derrick Rose.
But that's not having the luxury of a very deep team.
That's what I'm saying. This year is different. They don't have Derrick Rose. But one thing we know in the past, Luol Deng has been injured, and he hasn't been he's been injury plagued 3 years ago. He had a lot of injuries back to back to back. He hasn't had that. He had the wrist last year. He still doesn't want the surgery. We have to protect Luol Deng, and it's one of those, like, for real, we do. And I'm not talking about Luol is playing, like, 39 minutes a game or something like that?
Too many minutes.
He needs to go back.
But you know what? That's probably going to drop now because
Jimmy Butler.
Tom Thibodeau has faith in Jimmy Butler now.
Yeah, and Jimmy Butler's playing.
He's playing very well.
And he plays above the rim, which is awesome. When Derrick Rose gets back and Nate Robinson when Derrick Rose gets back, the Bulls are going to turn into one of the best running teams in the NBA.
Probably.
When you have Nate Robinson, you're going to see a lot of Nate Robinson at the 1 guard and Derrick Rose at the 2 guard.
You are.
And they're just going to
run. They're going to interchange all those guards a lot. You're going to see a lot of different guard setups. You're going to have the same thing you're saying is going to be Kirk at the 1 and Derrick at the 2 or vice versa. You're going to have a lot of different – I want to see what it seems like now. I want to see how many minutes Marco's going to get. But it's going to be interesting.
Still, He's still gonna get some minutes.
Yeah, you guys a believer in Marco? I just don't like him.
Oh, dude,
wow.
What?
You got hate in your heart?
But
you'll save Matt Tatea.
I don't see what Tom Thibodeau sees in Marco. What's up,
he's 10 times better. I wish we had him instead of Kyle Korver last season.
Because he can take it to the rack. Well, he can do something off the dribble.
He probably would have beat Philadelphia.
Think about that play. Think about that play.
Sloppy though.
Think about that play with Noah going out of bounds, throwing the ball back into bounds.
Yeah.
Kyle Korver would have tried to do a spot up shot. Probably got the ball blocked in his face. He would have not dribbled and threw up a floater and kissed it off the glass and knocked it in. Like totally. If we had Marco last year, it would have been better. I'm not saying we would have championship. Like
we probably would have beat Philadelphia.
Yeah. I think I still think
they would with 7 games.
I think they were dismayed by what happened to Derek too.
Yeah, but you gotta do it at the 2 guard that's still aggressive. That is aggressive. Kyle Korver was not aggressive. 312-564-7375. This is the D and Davis Show right on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Hey, give us a call, join us, join the party. Let us know if you now believe and are a follower of Ricky and you think the Chicago Bulls can make the Eastern Conference Final. We'll be right back. I'm D, one half of the D and Davis Show. Check us out every Sunday from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. If you want to talk about the Bulls, Bears, Blackhawks, White Sox, Cubs, give us a call, 312-564-7375. Don't forget, that's Sunday from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Isn't that right, Davis?
Definitely, D. If you're tired of the same old rigmarole, stats, blah, blah, this team, blah, blah, and you're looking for a lot more fun with your sports listening, tune in to the D and Davis Show every Sunday from 11:30 to 1:30, right here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Dial us up at 312-564-7375. Remember, it's about more than just sports. It's about enjoying yourself. Join in. And we're back here on the D and Davis Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Dial us up 312-564-7375. We were just doing a little Bulls talk, going about the stuff the Bulls are doing this season. Luol Deng, Joakim Noah making it for the first time. Lou making it for the second consecutive year to the All-Star game. Great news for a Bulls fan. Carlos Boozer probably wasn't too far from making it.
I think he should have made it, actually.
Man, that's a lot of Bulls, though.
I don't care.
That's a lot of
Bulls. There were like 5 Pistons one year.
Like a lot of, they won a championship. They won a championship and were going to championships.
Boozer.
How far
I think Boozer's been having a better season than Chris Bosh.
Yeah, but
Chris Bosh. And even KG.
No, Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh, once you win a championship and you got 3 guys, they're checked in the NBA history. You got 3 guys that were a big part of winning the championship. They're going to the All-Star game. It usually, to be honest with you, the All-Star selection goes from the last All-Star game to the next All-Star game. It's not just the beginning of the season. It goes from what you did at the end of that year until what's going on this season until the new All-Star game.
And what I like about the NBA with the tweak they finally made was taking off the injured players off the ballot where the fans would vote them in.
Okay, I didn't even know they did that. That's because Vince Carter, the year that Vince Carter came back just for that. I think Tracy did some mess like that.
Yeah. You can debate.
Penny used to do that all the time.
You can debate if Dwight Howard should even be there. The way he's been playing,
and that's something that we're going to get into because D, you had something you want to say about GMs in the NBA.
Let me tell you this right now. This is a sign if you're not being a good GM in the NBA. If you're not making phone calls asking about Kobe Bryant, that team stinks. To the high heavens. Matter of fact, let me bring up their rank. Their
18 and 25.
18 and 25. 18 and 25 right now.
Number 10.
16 games back. This season is done. Kobe Bryant has 1 year left on his contract, and it's about for $30 million. If you're a team out there right now who's on the cusp of winning, i.e., Chicago Bulls, you make that call. I will always say this: if Wayne Gretzky can be traded, anybody can be traded. You make that call, you see what it needs to be take to get done.
This one is hockey. It's a little different.
Listen, but this is the thing, and that's interesting.
He still got game in him, though. He can still ball.
Yeah, he can. He can. And now I'm thinking about it. What's Kobe really want? He wants the 6 championships.
He wants 7.
He wants 7.
And he will go anywhere to get that stuff.
I don't think so.
At this age, you have to think about it. At this age, he's probably starting to ask himself, all right, I'm going to do whatever it takes to go get my rings.
You know what? He did that 5 years ago when he was ready to get traded and become a Bull because he didn't see them doing anything. He got those rings. He made it to the finals, 3 or 4 times in that span. He won 2 of them.
But you know what was happening, though? Jerry Buss was running that team.
I'm not even. But Kobe's even said himself now when asked, he doesn't see himself leaving L.A. I think if this was when Kobe was some years younger, Kobe would do it because Kobe only had 3 rings then. Kobe has 5 rings now. I'm not saying he doesn't. I agree. I'm not saying he doesn't, D. But I don't think, and we talked about it in the hallway, that Kobe, like Magic, are 2 of the L.A. greats that are actually homegrown. They're drafted. They played there their entire career. They didn't play any place else like Shaq and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
So I think that he kind of wants to continue with that legacy. I'm not saying it's impossible, and the GM still should make the phone call. I'm not disagreeing with that, but it's one of those things where I'm not sure about it. But let's go to Ricky and the update.
Last time on the D and Davis show,
if the Bears would have won a Super Bowl, you would have been pissed.
I would have been happy.
But you would have been stuck with Larry Smith.
Okay, let me ask you this: would they have won the Super Bowl? Because guess what? They didn't. What's this? Jermaine and Randy's baby mama, who is the same person. You know, they have the same baby mother.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah. She's caused problems because remember
Billie Jean is for real?
Yeah.
And that was just a sample. Now imagine the whole thing. So check out the D and Davis show every Sunday from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. right here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
I got a question. When isn't tasing violent?
I mean,
I didn't know it was gentle tasing.
I guess like the way they described it, where he just
grinding it in him,
came in,
yeah,
tried killing him with the taser.
Listen,
a big boy. He's hard too.
D and Davis show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Dollar sub 312-564-7375. I just find like it. Not you. I love that. That's good. No. That's good stuff.
No, I know.
The man was like, I refuse. I will not bend my knee to you. I mean, you were digging it in his back. I mean, how do you? Please just knock him out again. Get another bottle. Crack him again.
Couldn't bring him down. That's why he's a Pro Bowler. He stands on his feet.
I wonder what he was flying off of because he probably had a couple in him. You think he had a pill or 2 in him? A bean? That Molly, Ricky? Molly?
I don't know. I have no idea.
He had that courage juice flowing good that night.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely. He was on 10. Oh, he's probably on 15. Yeah.
Man, D and Davis show right here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. 312-564-7375. That good Hawaiian stuff.
Did you guys see what he did to Richard Sherman?
No.
After the
oh, he muffed him.
No, he didn't muff him. He knocked him. Did you see it on World Star?
I saw it. No, I can find it though.
Yeah, Richard Sherman, you know, being the japper that he is, after the Seahawks beat the Redskins in the playoff game, Trent Williams confronted him, and Richard Sherman, with his helmet off, stood up to him face to face, talking, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Trent Williams told him, I'm going to knock you out. He's like, do it then. Boom. Richard Sherman was just shook.
I gotta find this. I gotta see
it.
It
was pretty cool.
I'm falling in love with Trent Williams.
On the other side of the break, we were talking about talking about the Lakers, the NBA GMs, that they're doing their job. If I was the GM right now in the NBA, I would be calling Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak about Kobe Bryant.
Now, D,
yep.
I know that I was talking about how Kobe will do anything to get those 7 championships, but you also got to think about it.
Ooh, he muffed him.
Will the NBA GMs even waste their time calling the Lakers? Is Kobe tradable?
Nah, you're not wasting your time when you're doing your job.
You gotta put fillers in.
You gotta put fillers out there.
You're supposed to come with something ridiculous because you never know what will stick.
Have you ever seen the 30 for 30 on Wayne Gretzky?
I have not.
Try to get that 30 for 30. Try to watch it. The GM for the
Oilers.
For the Kings.
Okay.
He was. I think he had this in plan like 2 seasons prior. So he would always ask, I can't remember who owned the Kings at the time. Say, hey man, what do you think? You know, you think he would trade Gretzky? He was like, what? To the Oilers GM, what? Like, no, are you crazy? You think I'm crazy? I'm not gonna have Canada kill me for this. I'm not gonna have this. Wow. It's not gonna happen. Next year go past. You know what's up? You never thought you'd do it? Well, you know, I'm interested. I don't know. I don't think I'd do it. That next season at a conference of some sort, came up to him again. Man, I'm serious. This is what I give you right now. What's up? He's like, you know what? Let me get back to you. Next thing you know, he's in L.A.
Wow.
So if Wayne Gretzky can be traded, now this is the thing. What brings crazy about Wayne Gretzky? He was in his prime. He just came off of 4 Stanley Cups up there in Edmonton. Kobe's not in his prime, but Kobe still got a lot more game left in him, I think.
Oh, yeah.
In a reduced role.
Kobe can become the next Reggie Miller if he wanted to.
Yeah, you can't have Kobe up there shooting 30 times a game anymore. But it's the thing, though. You move him to a team that's a championship team on that cusp right there, where he can reduce that from 30 to, say, 18. 15 to 18 game. 15, 18 shots a game. Come on, man.
Kobe? I don't know if Kobe would want to do that. But no.
If you want that ring,
this is the question, though.
All right, let me
ask you this question. What are they going to do with Dwight Howard?
They better trade him.
That's the real question.
They better really trade him.
And as Bulls fans, you guys want Dwight Howard?
Of course.
I would still take him next to Joakim.
Yeah, I would.
He's not healthy. He's not healthy. He's not happy.
And he'll fit in better with Derrick Rose.
I'm not against it, but it's one of those things where what are we giving up? One. And you both said with Joakim, the Lakers, and believe me, that's who they'd be asking for.
Yeah.
That's the person. If they train Dwight Howard, and let alone the marketing, they will bring us the crazy dude with the head that does the rebounding and does all the. But we want him.
But this is the weird thing. I have a feeling that Jim Buss, because he's not running that organization very well at all. I could probably say something a lot harsh. I think he'll be more inclined to keep Dwight because A, he's younger. He's a big man, number two, within an organization that always had big men.
So he'd be willing to build around Dwight.
I think he's more willing to build around Dwight. He knows the end is coming from Kobe. They don't have to re-sign him after next year. He don't. But they'll build around him, and I don't know. I think they will fire D'Antoni.
They should.
They should.
Has it ever been done in NBA history where two coaches got fired in the same system?
Yeah.
In the same season? Probably.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a lot of sucky.
Interim coaches have gotten whacked after the head coaches got
whacked.
But
I think Jim Buss is more inclined to keep Dwight and build around him when he's healthy, because obviously he's not happy. But you do see the one guy who is the franchise over the past 17 years, but it's at the end of his contract coming up, making a whole lot of money,
crazy money,
and then teams will be like, "Ooh, Kobe, yes, what's up?" Okay,
let me ask you this though. Do you think that Jim Buss believes in Dwight Howard? And is Dwight Howard ever going to be Dwight Howard again? Because
Jim Buss is a
idiot
fool.
Yeah, idiot.
So probably he does believe in Dwight Howard.
Does he believe that he's going to be able to come back and be healthy and be that player again? Because that question has to be asked.
Only time will tell for that. I don't know.
Backs and big men. Once that back goes, especially when you play that post position, you look at players like Charles Barkley, look at Larry Johnson. Players that have to grab rebounds.
Yeah, but he's so young, though. He's so young. That's the thing about it.
Ask Sam Bowie how young he was.
That's true.
Ask Bill Walton how young he was.
That was his feet, though.
I'm just still saying, when it goes, when those big guys go, ask Greg Oden. All right. When a big man goes, they usually go.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So, and I don't know. I guess I would still want them to be here with the Bulls, but we would have to give them something. Like if they would take Boozer.
Carlos, I know you had a problem with Prince with your home out there.
Yeah, they're gonna want.
I would move Luol in a second.
It's getting to the point where it's like I think for so long we wanted to get rid of Luol because of that deal that now we're reaping the benefits of him, and we only have 1 year left. Damn near, why don't we sign him to little money?
No. It's
not going to be easy to replace Luol Deng. Jimmy Butler is not Luol Deng.
I'm not saying replace him with Jimmy Butler, but you try to move him and try to get you something back.
Okay.
And remember, the kid overseas is supposed to play a 3, and they said this kid is supposed to be unbelievable. And it's a perfect transition because when Luol Deng's contract is up, he's coming here.
Listen.
Who, we have a kid overseas?
Yeah.
Nikola Micerovic.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we drafted in the second round?
No, first round. Was it a first round?
Yeah, but
it was the first round.
I thought Marcus Teague was the first round.
No, this was 3
years ago.
Yeah.
He's just been developing over there. Everybody's saying, like, if the Bulls trade him, they are nuts. Do not let this kid go. He's an aggressive, athletic Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah. We'll see. I've seen highlights of him, and it didn't. He was, excuse me. For the most part, he was just knocking down threes. But when it comes to like getting to the first, and that's another thing. Don't compare him to Dirk Nowitzki, all right? Because Dirk Nowitzki at his prime was at a whole lot of level than a whole lot of players have never. Not you. I'm not saying you. This is what he's been known to be compared to. Dirk was a beast on many different levels.
And
so it'll be interesting to see him.
If he deserved to be compared to Dirk Nowitzki, he wouldn't be overseas right now either.
Probably. When he can start getting that NBA contract ticking.
But he's like 17, 18 years old when they drafted him.
I think he's older. When they drafted him. I mean, like, really but now. But, you know, but still he can get that. You have to be here for a certain amount of time to get to your real contract anyway. So you may as well get that clock ticking rather than he's going to come here and have to wait 4 years before he can get real NBA money. Like, that's one thing. That's why you may as well go get it started so you can get to your big contract, because you keep messing around, you're not going to get paid till you're like 26, 27, and by then your warts may be showing and you may not get the type of money that you would have got when you were younger, when people were still looking at you as being a player with potential rather than being a finished product. So you never know. But still, I wouldn't trade that pick. You know what? So would you trade that pick for Kobe? Because they're not trading you Kobe for a bag of beans.
No, it's going to be players and picks.
It's going to be
trade. Yeah, I would.
So you're going to give them that pick, Charlotte's pick, and probably a player or two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a lot for a short window to win a championship with Kobe Bryant.
You only win so many. You still got D Rose. And think about it like this: whoever that player is going to be, I don't know, because remember in the NBA they got to match up salaries. So whoever that player is on a roster, hopefully I would move. I would definitely move Boozer if I could. But if they want to take, Luol, see ya.
I don't think they would take. I mean, I don't think that you can replace. That's another thing. Okay,
the Lakers have to be completely rebuilt.
Yeah.
Completely rebuilt.
You're right.
It's nothing on the fly. So you better get what you can get. And you got 2 highly paid draft picks that the Bulls have. And you
can they rebuild, though? They've never done it in the past.
Yeah, they did.
No,
in the 90s. After the Magic left.
No, they did not. First of all, did you know that they only missed the playoffs like one time then if they missed it, but they had Sabalas. They didn't really rebuild that team. He made some trades. He traded for – I mean, Shaq came as a free agent. He traded for Kobe. He already had Eddie Jones. You know, and he got rid of the players like Nick Van Exel and stuff like that. But when I mean a tear-down rebuild. You're saying you can't do that in L.A. when your other tenant is one of the best teams out west now.
But L.A.'s an attractive organization, though.
They're always pulling players. Free agents will always go there.
But I'm saying it's not. But when you have a team that's ran by a numbskull.
Dummy.
How attractive is it?
Yeah, he's going to need to step down.
Oh, people, look.
That ain't happening. He owns it.
No, to put that purple and gold on. People will still go there and play for that.
I don't know, man.
Now, that purple and gold is a drug outside.
I don't know about that.
And they have one of the, and with all those
hit the party and say I'm a Clipper or hit the party and say I'm a Laker.
Yep.
That's a totally different
Hey, it's kind of hot to be a Clipper
and it's a nice stadium.
Right now.
The way they dim the lights, I would like to play there.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where, no, anybody will go to the Lakers. And also put this, Jenny may come back. She may get control of the team.
The brother doesn't want anything to even do with Jenny.
So they
talking about Phil going to Seattle.
They are?
Yes. To be the GM up there. Yes. That's
the GM of the Sacramento Kings?
Yes. Well, it's probably going to be the Sacramento.
Oh, it will be the Supersonics. They kept the name. No, they will be. They have the name. It will be a Supersonics.
Good.
But really, I didn't know that Phil was
his name has been floated out there, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting thing. And even though we're in Chicago, we talk all sports, so we'll go talk about the Lakers. And, of course, maybe we can get a player or two to the Bulls. So we're going to go in and talk and have a little fun about it.
I think it's all – listen, I'm not – everybody out there listen, 312-564-7375. This is the Dean Davis Show right here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. I'm sure all this is pipe dream. It's not probably going to happen.
Right.
But
what happened to your mumble?
My mumble's still here.
You like .com. Like you.
No.
Well, you are Kanye. You popping the wires out of your mouth. And
my mouth was killing me. But
you're a trooper.
I am. But you make the calls. Yes, I do think it's probably a pipe dream. It's probably not going to happen. But you make the calls.
You definitely make the calls.
You put the feelers out there. Listen, teams. I'm telling you, teams are probably doing it. Unless he comes back at the end of this season, he signs another 4 or 5 year deal. Like, I'm gonna be here till I'm 40. This is gonna be guaranteed. He's gonna be a Laker for life. Mm-hmm. I just don't think it's gonna happen though because
you don't think they're gonna give him new money after next season?
Man, listen, I'm telling you, dude, it ain't gonna be what he's getting right now.
It may not be. One, what is he gonna be getting? He's getting 27.
30, he's gonna get 30 next year.
Yeah, he's gonna get the Jordan money. That was when Jordan came back. He was making 30 plus.
But Jordan was on still a good team. That team's not good.
But they're still going to need an attraction.
With an old team. The words of Kobe Bryant, we owed. We're old.
Okay. So in the offseason, you try to trade Gasol.
Yeah,
you let Howard, and this is something we're not talking about. Howard leaving opens up about $17 to $18 million for them to spend. So whoever's out there, and you can tell somebody, hey, come play with Kobe Bryant in L.A. right now. He's still good. He can still score 28 points. You come in, we need a big man. Even Paul Gasol's still there. They have cap space after this season.
You know what?
But look, we're going to finish this up on the other side of the break. This is Dean Davis on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Last time on the Dean Davis Show, I didn't know there was a Hall of Fame for whores.
Oh, she is either she's the first inductee or she came in her own. Oh yeah, there's a Hall of Fame.
That's another drop. Got Marshawn Lynch. Feed him the Skittles.
It's my problem.
What's your problem?
All right, and this is the whole thing where we're talking about Alex Smith versus Kaepernick. If Alex Smith was in that game yesterday, they would have gotten blown out. Alex Smith cannot put up points like that.
And that was just a bit of the fun we bring every Sunday morning from 11:30 to 1:30 on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
And we're back here on the D and Davis Show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. Dial us up at 312-564-7375. We're based in Chicago, but we was going to have you into that Lakers talk. But right now, Ricky's showing me something. I think it may be time to go into the top 5.
I can't do it this week. I'm sorry.
Can we get a try? Can we get an attempt?
Top 5.
Oh, Lord. All right. All right, D. All right. Number 5. WWE announcer Jerry the King Lawler claims that after suffering a near-fatal heart attack on Monday Night Raw and being resuscitated, that he's now a zombie. He's thinking about changing his name to Jerry the Walking Dead Lawler.
What?
Yeah. Blah. Yeah, whatever.
But I will say this, though. Royal Rumble is tonight, and I am watching The Rock versus CM Punk.
I'm not watching it, but when I saw the commercial yesterday, I saw The Rock was on there. I was like, oh, my God, The Rock is there. And I'm
watching that tonight.
He brought me back into wrestling.
I'll probably be on the air because I'll be down in another station. But I will be watching some way, somehow.
Jerry, how are you going to watch it when you're down there? They got
computer right in front of me, baby.
But you don't have to pay for it?
I find ways.
Okay, you need to talk to me about that.
Yeah, after we get off this.
Exactly. Yeah, we're going to talk about that illegal stuff when we get off air. Right, Ricky, I agree with you. All right.
Jerry the King Lawler, though, changing his name. He just needs to stick to Jerry the King.
He's not changing.
He's going to be a Hall of Fame. He's not?
He's not going to change his name. I mean, he's not going to change his name.
He's already a Hall of Fame.
He's joking. All right. Number 4. I'm smuggling that boy and that girl in my pants. Samantha Kirtle was walking arm in arm with James Perry crossing the Tijuana border into America when Perry announced, I'm not with her. See, the Border Patrol K-9 had singled that the lady was carrying narcotics. After being pressed by authorities, Cordilla explained that Perry talked her into smuggling cocaine in her women's region across the border. The feds searched her phone and discovered a text in which she's claiming, I'm smuggling cocaine and heroin in my cool. Mix that white with that brown.
What an idiot.
Exactly.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And the dude was like, I don't know.
Oh, he saw the cops coming and was like, I do not know. The first thing out his mouth.
So he knew what she was doing.
Yes,
but
so he was declaring himself like, I have nothing to do. Like, just think me and you walk and you see the cops coming and you look at me like, I do not know him. That's how they introduce themselves to the authorities. All right.
Who was she?
She's just a chick. Oh yeah, exactly. She's just a chick with some of that brown, some of that boy, and some of that girl in her pants. That boy. Okay. Number 3. Oh, shady. Philadelphia Eagles running back LaShawn McCoy got into a Twitter fight with his baby's mother. He went on calling her a bum and an alley girl. Shady claims that their relationship was over after she lied about being on the pill. Well, she returned fire claiming that he walked out on the family and she's lucky that he didn't pass on that hurt bubble to her. Shady, what's that on your lip?
Whoa, she threw out the herpy bomb?
Wow.
Yeah. And supposedly, D and Davis have nothing to do with that. We're just telling you what we read.
So, wait a minute. So, obviously, the girl, I guess, really isn't on too much or anything because I could be lying. I mean, he could be lying.
And she can be.
Yeah, and she could be too. I mean, who knows? This sounds crazy anyway. You got one dude, supposedly, allegedly, he has the bump. And you got the guy calling the girl an alley girl.
Exactly. You were nothing but an alley girl until I cleaned you up with trash. You bum be you. Sorry.
Shady, for real.
Exactly.
Your name is Shady.
Dude,
that's a fact.
This is why you don't take baby mama drama to social media.
You're right. You know another thing who's so happy about this and that we're going to see? O.C. Umanura. Have you seen the E60, how they hate each other and they go back and forth on each other? Like, they tweet and they do not like each other.
Him and his baby mother?
No, him and O.C.
Oh, yeah.
Shady and O.C. You know, I'm surprised O.C. probably tweeted something last. He probably got into the Twitter beef with them. Like, oh, that hurt bubble.
I seen it when I tackled him.
Exactly. That's what was on your lips when I was grabbing at you. All right. Number 2. I need you, baby, please. Lame ass Andrew Curtis of Salt Lake County stole a pickup truck in an attempt to convince his ex-girlfriend not to get married. After his ex told him to beat it, Andrew decided to crash the truck into a church while on his way back to return the vehicle. The police caught Curtis, who claimed he's a good guy and never committed any crime, even though he was flying high on methamphetamine all day and all night.
Oh,
sweet.
Meth head. Wait a minute, did he crashed the truck into the.
That's what it was a question. Was it the actual church?
Church when she was getting married.
It was. They didn't know. So I can't. I don't want to lie. No, the authorities. They didn't know if that was her church or not. If it was just. So they did allude that maybe it was, but they didn't know for sure. So
you're not getting married because I'm knocking down the building.
Exactly. I hate you. I love you so much. Lame. All right. Number 1. Three's a company, but with these blades, it makes it a party. Valerie now was upset that her neighbors from a couple trailers over didn't consummate on a planned threesome. After realizing the deed wasn't going down, Valerie went to the kitchen and retrieved 3 knives and started raising hell. After being arrested, Nal explained to the police, we were supposed to have a threesome. Oh, yeah, there were also 2 children in the trailer also. Oh. Freaky! What? Show the picture. Show the picture of Valerie at the bottom. Freaky. How freaky. There she goes. How low can you go?
That's pretty low. Oh, yeah. And so many levels.
we gonna have this threesome on top of the kids.
What?
Oops. Dean Davis does not agree with any type of sexual abuse with children or threesomes.
I hope she got arrested just for that too.
Oh, it was her kids though. It was one of the other. It was another chick that was 30.
How you gonna get mad? Oh.
She was in there. That it was her 2 kids up in there. And when the police came, she was asleep.
And she's smiling.
Oh yeah.
As she's getting booked. Then we put this back up one more time.
Oh yeah.
She's smiling as she's getting booked.
Very freaky girl.
God, some people just need to
go
by themselves.
She wanted to get in. She wanted to experience something.
Did you guys hear what J.R. Smith told Chris Humphries?
Oh, yeah.
What did he say?
Kanye. Chris Humphries had the Nets had beat the Knicks, and Chris Humphries had tweeted out that the Garden was quiet when they were leaving out #Brooklyn. So J.R. Smith tweets back to him, oh, yeah, it wasn't quiet last month when Kanye was tearing it down because, they had the Sandy Relief concert there, but it was an entendre. Mm-hmm. He was also talking about Kim Kardashian clearly too. Mm-hmm. Hey, you better watch. Look, Chris Humphries, I want to say he needs to watch what he says, but it's like, man, whatever. Chris Humphries, they jealous of you. One, right. They can say, and anybody that watched that show, and shout out to my girl. He was a character on that show.
He was.
He was like, I don't really watch that show, especially after he left.
Perfectly
he was he was a jerk in the perfect sense of being a jerk. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to be around Scott's and the other sister's kids. He'd be like, why we got to be with them? Or her coming. He was just such it was great. Like Chris Humphries, he needed to still be on that. Compared to I've only seen maybe 2 episodes or so this season. And I kind of see what Kanye's around, but he's not saying much. Compared to that, man, Chris Humphries would have you dying, laughing.
They hated him.
Oh, he was great though.
He was.
So was Kanye referring to Kanye performing for the Sandy Hook?
It was a double entendre. He was saying that he's tearing your woman down, but also he tore down the Sandy Hook relief thing too. He was saying both when he was sending out the tweet.
Yeah, but a lot of guys are of course jealous.
Oh yeah, but J.R. Smith gets it in though.
Yeah, you do.
J.R. Smith he gets it in.
How do you know?
He's a wild boy.
He tweets everything. Rapper Joe Buttons was going with some reality chick. Her name's like Tahiri or something. And they kind of blew up each other off of YouTube. Joe Buttons and Tahiri or whatever. She has a pretty nice body. She's a cute girl. And what's the name? J.R. Smith tweeted out a picture of Joe Buttons' girl, ass or whatever. Like, ha, 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 ha. Don't worry, I'm going to give it right back to you. Like, that's the type of stuff J.R. Smith does.
He's been fined I don't know how many times for stuff on Twitter.
Yeah,
he's a wild boy.
He stays, he's got pictures where old girl came and shit. Dude gets it in. Ladies love him. I'll get J.R. Smith that. He should have been a bull one if Paxton didn't just trade him away and bring in Adrian Griffin with a bag of pennies. Yeah. He should have been a bull. I'm not saying he would be here now, but we should have at least got to experience what he could have done.
Yeah, he would have played with Ben Gordon and Kirk.
But you would have had a real fiery player at that time, and you needed more athleticism at that time. Yeah. So it's one of those things. I think we had a great show today, D. You performed hurt. Ricky, shout out to your sister and your newborn niece. We hope everything's going well.
Yep.
Everything's good?
Yes, sir.
So that's why Ricky wasn't here last week, and I was messing up the updates.
I heard you give up a couple times. Whatever, we're getting back into shit.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And Ken used to be so into doing those.
I was, and then you stole my job. You'll never get it back now. I'm taking it. You're gonna make you a real intern now, boy. No more talking on this radio. No, Ricky, of course, is an integral part of the show. Do you got anything you want to say?
No, my mouth hurt too much.
Mouth hurts. Ricky, got something you want to say going away?
So I guess I'll take D's job and say keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, all right. Keep your hands to yourself. And we'll talk to you next week.